Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we have it was a requested video, which is super exciting. So thank you so much to Chantel who requested this video. I'm gonna run through my top books that I have in my collection of books. I have quite a few books. I don't have all the books that I've ever read, so actually one of them today I don't have with me because I lent it to someone and then never got it back, which is just typical. But yeah, I have quite a few books, so it was hard to go through and pick my favourite ones. I've picked 6. I was gonna pick 5, but I can't choose. They're like my children. I can't pick which ones are my favourite, but I've managed to pick 6. And one of them I don't have with me. So without further ado, we'll get into them. The majority of them are fiction. There's one non-fiction in there because I do dabble a little bit in like non-fiction, like self-help book, like mindset kind of books, but the majority of them are fiction. I tend to, if you haven't watched my Waterstones haul or any videos that I've done about books before, my typical genres tend to be like thrillers, self-help books, dramas. I don't really go for romance kind of stuff. Like, it's not my kind of thing. There are some books that I do go for which have romance in them, but they're not like the main plot of them. I like historical dramas. I don't really like historical non-fiction books. I like historical like dramas that people have wrote like a story, and that there's how many is there? Oh, there's only one historical drama in this, but I do read quite a lot of them. I read quite a lot of thrillers. So yeah, I'll start with the historical drama first, shall I? So the first one is The Other Queen by Phillippa Gregory. I've actually just finished reading another Philippa Gregory book. This is the only one I've read. I haven't read The Other Boleyn Girl, which you would think I would have read because it's like the most popular historical drama book ever, but I get really put off by things like that. Like, if it's popular, I tend not to read it. I don't know why, that's just me. But yeah, this is The Other Queen. I've just finished reading The Constant Princess. So yeah, The Other Queen. This is about Elizabeth I and Mary Queen of Scots. This basically follows the Mary Queen of Scots when she's in Elizabeth's captivity, and it's about this guy who like she is staying at his house, and the other queen is kind of like, because this guy is torn between Elizabeth and Mary, and he ends up like loving Mary in a certain way. But I really like this one. I think Philippa Gregory is quite controversial in terms of the way she writes, if people like them or whether they're historically accurate. This is not a historically accurate book. Like this I mean, it probably is in aspects, but it's not like about the history. This is about the story of like Mary v Elizabeth. I've read quite a few of them actually, but this is probably my favorite one. There was, I think, The Marriage Game by Alison Weir. I don't know, I think that was Elizabeth v Mary as well, but I've read quite a few of these and I really like this. I read this a long time ago. I want to say like 8 years, maybe more, but I do remember really enjoying it and not being able to put it down. So that's the only historical drama that's in here. The next one, I will get the obvious one out the way. I think I've mentioned it in every single book video I've done, and it's You're a Badass by Sincero. I love this book. It changes my perspective when I read. Bless me. It changes my attitude whenever I read it. I love it. It makes you feel like you can take on anything and you are kind of like the author of your own life. Like, oh, pun. You're in control of everything and you need to do what you love and you need to just be you. And it's, I don't know, I haven't read that many self-help books, so there might be other better ones out there, but I love this. Like, I just like the way she writes. It's kind of like she's talking to you. She's done other books. I haven't read any of them. I've just read this one. There's one about money, I think, and another one about money, I think, but this is the only one I've read and I loved it. It's so, like, some bits to get you and you're like, yeah, like that hits home with me. So yes, I'm not going to spend loads of time on this because I've talked about it loads, but You're a Badass by Sincero is the best, and it's normally on in the works for like £2, so you can get this for cheap. I'd pay full price like an idiot, but you can get it for like £2 in the works. Next one is kind of, I think it's a bit like, I don't know if it's my favorite of all time, but I thought it was worth a mention because I don't think it's an obvious series to read. Obviously, without saying in this, Harry Potter is one of my favorite books of all time, but I felt like that was very obvious. So I've brought in a different series along the same type of lines, like teen kids kind of thing, and it's The Maze Runner. First thing I want to say, if you're thinking I'm stupid after you've watched the films for this being like one of my favourite books, this, like, it doesn't, the movies are so bad compared to the books. The movies don't even follow the same, well, they do follow the same basic storyline, but they go off the books so much. I remember when I was sitting in the cinema watching the second movie, because the first movie is pretty much the same. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. I remember being in the cinema with Jack, because we watched the first movie, then I read all the books apart from the prequel, and then we went to the cinema, watched the second one, and I was sitting there going, what's happening? Why is this, what's even going on? Completely different. And the books were really good. I really enjoyed these. I went through them really quickly, and obviously it's kind of like a teen kind of book, so it's quite easy to read. It's dead easy going. It's a page turner, and the only thing I would say is that I did not like the ending of the full series. I thought it was a rubbish ending. So if that ruins books for you, don't read it. But you might like the ending. I don't know, I just didn't like the ending. But the books themselves were really good, and I think it's like, I don't know, it kind of makes you question morals and stuff like that. It has like a deep kind of thing to it as well. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. The next one I'm going to do is the one that I don't have with me, and that is Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. I'll put a little pop-up of it. This one I don't have because I lent it to someone. I loved reading this book. It was my first Gillian Flynn book. I've since read, what's the other one called? I'm gonna have to go have a look what the other one's called. It's not Gone Girl, it's the other one. I've just checked, it's called Dark Places. I've since read Dark Places. I haven't read Gone Girl because it's just, I don't know, again, it's something that a lot of people have read, so I don't read it. But I did really enjoy Dark Places. It's just as twisted as Sharp Objects, but Sharp Objects was just brilliant. It's a very like dark, like Gillian Flynn has a messed up mind to come up with the stuff that she does. Like she's crazy, but I love her for it because the books are insane. It's so intense and very twisty. I love books with like a twist in them, like a super big twist in them that I didn't see coming, and that, like, Sharp Objects just got me. Like it was one of the first thrilling ones I ever read, and it got me. So Sharp Objects is about this girl that goes back to her hometown, and basically she's a journalist now, and when she goes back to the hometown there's a murder of a little girl, and she kind of explores that. But one thing I would say with Sharp Objects is it's a brilliant book, but if you struggle with reading about mental health or self-harm in particular, don't read this book. I'd probably say it needs to have a little bit of a trigger warning, because I've had issues with this in the past and I struggled a little bit reading it. It was very triggering. So it is a brilliant book, and if you don't have issues with this, it's fine. But if you struggle with things like that, maybe just give this one a miss and read one of Gillian Flynn's other books. You might have seen that it's a series on Sky One that came out like 2 years ago, I think. Again, I don't think the series lives up to the book. I think it's better than Maze Runner, do not get me wrong. The series was good, but I think you get a little bit confused as to what's happening in the series if you haven't read the book. Like Jack watched Sharp Objects with me and he hasn't read the book, and he was a little bit like, what's happening? And then I don't think the twist, if you guys have watched it, I don't think the twist like makes you go oh, as much. I think you're at the end, you're like, what, whereas in the book you're like, whoa, like it's cool, it's intense. And I really loved Sharp Objects. I just thought, I don't know, I thought it was a brilliant book. Gillian Flynn's a really good writer, and again, she is twisted. But if you enjoy her, I'd recommend Dark Places as well. It's just Sharp Objects was my favourite. The next one, I'll stay away. I've got one more thriller, and then this one is more like a drama, so I'll leave the other thriller till the next one. Is a Jojo Moyes book. You guys may know Jojo Moyes because she wrote Me Before You, which is obviously a smash hit film now. I am going to be a little bit controversial. I do not like Jojo Moyes' writing. I read Me Before You. I read the trilogy, and I don't know, I think she talks a lot about stuff that she doesn't need to talk about a lot of, which I don't know, sometimes she just rambles on. Like when I was reading Me Before You, there's some bits where I was like, oh my god, just keep, like, just stop talking. But I really liked this book, and I really enjoyed, like, not her writing, but I think she got more to the point in this one. This has a little bit of history in it as well. It's kind of split, so half of it's set in modern day and half of it is set in the First World War. I think the First World War. Yeah, and basically it's about this painting that someone has in the modern day, and then how the painting like came to life in the First World War. And it's more of like a drama. It has romance in there as well, but I wouldn't say it focuses on the romance at all. It's more of a drama, and like what French people went through in the First World War, because that's where it's set. Like in the past section, it's in France where there's a German occupation, and I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed the storyline to it. It is a bit of a long read for the storyline, I think, but I really enjoyed reading it. As I'm going through these, I don't know if these are my favourite ones or just ones that I'm thinking I really enjoy, so maybe I'll call this a different name, but these are ones that I've really enjoyed. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that. But if you tried reading Me Before You and you didn't enjoy it, maybe just give this one a try, because I didn't enjoy Me Before You. I enjoyed the second and third one better than I enjoyed the first one, but I still think the writing was a bit iffy in it. But I did enjoy this one way more. The final one. Now, this was, like, I think the first thriller that I read, and it's before I go to sleep. Have I picked everything that has a movie? No, just a few. This is a movie as well. Again, if you've watched the movie, it is completely different to this. It has does it have the same twist? Yes, it has the same twist, but it's completely different. So it's about a woman that basically loses her memories every time she goes to sleep, hence the before I go to sleep. And it's about her kind of trying to figure out her life before she had this accident that made her like have amnesia, that makes her lose her memories every single day. And it's got a really good twist to it. I really enjoyed it. I remember I couldn't put it down when I was near the end, because I'm a very slow reader. If you guys are new to my channel, I have Erlen syndrome, which affects my reading, so I read really slow. And I remember I was about this far, I think about like this far from the end, and it was like 1 AM, and I'm not someone who stays up late. I like to be asleep by like 1 AM, and it was 1 AM, and I was like, I can't not read the rest of this book. I really enjoyed it. And then I even stayed up to, I never ever buy movies. I bought the movie on Google Play to watch the movie, and then was heavily disappointed. It changes like a key element from the book, and I think it makes a world of difference. Like, it makes a world of difference. So yeah, before I go to sleep, it's very good. I was actually recommended this. I think it was recommended it by Maha, I think, I'm not sure, but I'm very thankful for the recommendation, because I loved it. And that is that. I think I got through that really quickly. I don't know if I not talked enough or if I babbled. I have no idea. But yeah, I wouldn't say they're my favourite. I can't pick, honestly. It sounds pathetic, but I cannot pick my favourite books. I feel like a mother trying to choose her children. I could tell you ones that I definitely didn't like, but out of the ones that I did like, I can't pick. So they're just some of the ones that I did enjoy. If you guys would like me to go through more that I enjoyed, I've got plenty of books on the shelf that I can go through. I have a few. I've just finished reading The Constant Princess by Philippa Gregory, and now I think I'm going to read The Beekeeper of Aleppo, because I got that in a little Waterstones order that I did in lockdown, and then it took me forever to finish reading Little Women and then The Constant Princess. They are big books and they take forever. They were good, but they took forever. So I'm going to read The Beekeeper of Aleppo now. And yeah, if you guys want to see any different book content videos, please let me know, because I love doing them. I love talking about books. I just don't know how to get it on my channel. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please make sure to like the video. And if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. I would love to have you here. It's very nice to meet you. I'm Sarah. I upload Wednesdays and Sundays, or at least I try to. But yeah, please leave a comment or give it a like if you enjoyed, and I shall see you in the next video, chickpeas. Bye.